yourself.
Nerds Amalgamated, episode 145. Wait, why do I have to yawn right when I start recording?
Yes, the silence begins.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerds Amalgamated. I'm the Professor and my co-host is the DJ. And we have our guest, Devi Boy, back.
No, sorry. I changed my name to Shitty Microphone.
Shitty microphone.
But
So he has finally earned his forgiveness and been allowed to return.
Oh, I think I've returned. I've returned from the depths of uni hell.
How was it like?
A tip. Don't.
The trauma's too fresh. Don't bring it up.
Flashback, PTSD, non-flashback.
So how are you going, DJ?
I've been good. I've been seeing some interesting news up ahead, such as the console releases. Wow, so many console releases.
It's that week, eh? I mean, especially fun searching the subreddits right now on Reddit. It's like, my PS5's broken, it won't turn on. Just like, you poor soul, you spent like $1,000 on this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always the same for every console launch, but it's like, why I don't buy a console in the first week, unfortunately.
No, how long has it been since a first-gen console has actually functioned out of the gate? Because the 360
PS2?
had red ring. The PS, PS4 had yellow ring?
It would be the PS2, wouldn't it? Or the Sega Drink. Although, actually, original Xbox. That had no issues. So yeah, PS2, original Xbox. So early 2000s, probably. But, I mean, you can also make it a case the fact was the internet's so young that issues of console problems just got buried. People just called the sport line.
The original Xbox did have issues.
Oh crap! So okay,
it could catch fire, and they did a recall where instead of actually taking the consoles back, they issued a power cord with a fuse in it.
Well, moving along, that's one way to burn down your house. Hey, Mum, I just got this new console. It's called the X-Bone. It's so much fun. Let me plug it in for you. Oh shit! It's on fire. Oh no.
Yeah, and, at least it's not called the X-Bone anymore. But Series X is not a better name.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're going to talk about this more today because we're doing a deep dive into the release of the consoles this week, but I've ranted many times before on this podcast and in real life about the naming conventions Microsoft has gone with, as it triggers me, put it simply. Why?
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
It's not great.
All right, stuff it. I'm going to do it once again. Original Xbox it's called the Xbox. Sure, okay, using like one of the last letters in the alphabet, fair enough. It's edgy. Xbox 360. Okay, does it swing? Is it a fan? I don't know. It's Xbox 360. Fair enough. Okay. Xbox One. No, not the original Xbox. It's the Xbox One. Okay, fair enough. Xbox One S. Okay, so it's not the original Xbox. It's the third generation Xbox, but it's called the S series now, right? Just make sure you hear. So what's the new generation going to be called? Oh, it's the Xbox Series X. Not to be confused with the Xbox One S or the original Xbox. So just keep that in mind. It's Xbox Series, and that's not to be also Xbox Series X, which is the smaller version of Xbox. No, hang on, wait.
No, the X is the more powerful one.
Oh, well, there you go. See, I am already stuffing this up. Thanks, guys.
There we go. We couldn't get 5 minutes into the podcast and we already got it messed up.
How's Sony doing? PS1, PS2. This feels pretty common. PS3, PS4, PS5. What's the non-disc drive version? Oh, it's just called PS5 Slim. Oh, what? Really? Oh, PS5 no disc. I like these name conventions. It's easy. How difficult?
Yes, Nintendo's not too much better though.
True.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
The SNES, which is an understandable upgrade. The 64,
Sorry, I got a better one. The Nintendo 3DS XLI.
Oh God, yes.
Nintendo 3DS XLI new, now with Dante for the Devil May Cry series.
Yeah, actually, I was looking at them recently because the 3DS line was finally completely discontinued not too long ago. And it's like pre-owned new 3DS. But can anyone count as well as Microsoft? We've got MS-DOS through to version 6, Windows through to version 3.1, 95, 98, 98 Service Pack 2, oh no, second edition, something like that. 2000 and ME, which were two different things, even though they both came out in the same year. The XP, Vista, 7, 8, 8.1, 10. And don't forget Bob.
Oh, Bob. Oh, how could I forget that one?
Microsoft Bob was just a skin on, I think it was 95.
Yeah,
but,
something like that.
I still like to count it as a number.
I like that once you had like Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office, Millennium Edition. Microsoft Office 360. Okay, I guess it makes sense. Like 365 days a year, trying to tie there's the Xbox. They just have Microsoft Office again. Just like, hey guys, try and work out some naming convention, please. And then you had the Zune line. Hey guys, what should I compare it to the Apple iPod? Let's call it the Zune, and then we'll call it the Zune HD, and then we'll call it when you share music between people called squirting. Ooh, it's a little uber, don't you think? Nah, we're gonna call it squirting, man. You can go and squirt some music to your friends. The marketing team to the tech.
And then there was, what was the other one? Microsoft Teams, which is like.
Oh, that's not too bad, I mean,
yeah, that does what it says on the tin.
It's 4 teams in a team inside Office. So that's actually not bad. Thought, no one popped in my mind, but then just simply jumped out of my mind the second I thought of it.
But with the Xbox, I think that why they're doing all these like Series X and Xbox One and all this, I think they're trying to like capture the nostalgia, bring in the hardcore Xbox fans. You're like
the nostalgia for what?
Yeah, exactly. That's my thoughts.
It's the X. The X is always the thing. Like X is.
I don't want to think about my ex.
Not your ex. I bet as in the X, the letter.
Although, if you think about it, an Xbox sounds really dark.
I mean, you think about original Xbox, and it's like main screen, all the sounds it'll do. It's like, I mean, the whole reason this video is meant to be like, how do we make the Xbox so it's edgy, and we want to make it sound like the future? All right, we'll put like an alien skin on, and then we'll just like get some creepy transitions to make all the kids like shit themselves at night when they hear it. It's done. Okay, the future, technology at its finest. Just. Especially when you consider it's all Apollo transmission. Like, what? Guys, Microsoft, I know you guys are making fun of the development room, but just calm down a second.
So, what do you think of the size of them, though?
Oh, that's a good one, yeah. All right, the new Xbox. Okay, Xbox Series X looks like a house brick or a fridge, which I know Microsoft. Yes, funny. You made a fridge out of it. Got those haters, woo! I mean, honestly, good on them, good on the marketing team with that idea. That was really cool. The Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S. Actually, I kind of like it. It's very small. It's very compact. I kind of like it.
I'm not a big fan of the. I'm not a big fan of the fan grill.
Which one though?
The big black circular one.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
I think it's just big and ugly. On like the rest of the box is a nice smooth white, and then there's a big black circle.
It's very. It's
eye grabbing.
It looks like a speaker to me, so I kind of like it. But
when I first saw it, before I realized that the Series S doesn't have a CD drive, does it?
The slim one, which is the white one, no.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I thought that the black circle would be the disc cover, and it would pop up a bit like the original PlayStation.
Yeah, but I see it now. Sorry, man, not this time. And then the PS5 just like says, "Hello there, kids." Giant thing.
Yeah, they're all very big this time.
I mean,
yeah.
Although I find it funny how recently some people were trying to use the Xbox Series X as a bong.
Yeah, those fire videos that possibly are people blowing their vapes into it.
But why? Why?
Who knows?
Who
It
knows?
started off with there was one video claiming to be an actual fire in the console.
What?
And then so there was a picture of a smoke coming out.
Oh, I see. Someone thought
Then-
the Xbox catch fire. All right.
Yeah, so then I don't remember who it was, but a website put out a video of them blowing their vapes into the
Oh my god.
So they're blowing their vape into the Xbox to emulate the smoke effect.
Oh, we've got them now, boys. Microsoft's going to be dead by tomorrow. Oh, look, all that smoke coming out, not good.
Yeah. So the original guy is still saying that he reckons it's an actual issue and he's trying to get onto Microsoft for a replacement. But we'll have to see how it shakes out, whether there's actually an issue with the Xbox, which I could believe it does get rather warm in there.
That is it indeed. Well, that's why Sony's answer for PS5 is just having just make it literally a giant wall, fill the thing with heat sinks.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah, consoles are suffering at the moment because you can't pack that much power in without compromising somewhere, and they've chosen to compromise on heat dissipation.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to wait a couple of years until they bring some models out, which they will. They will.
Yeah.
Like, I love the new PS5. I like the look of it, but it's too expensive right now, and it's too much of a high chance that you're going to get one that's broken because obviously it's always like that when consoles first release. There's always things to iron out. And then lead a couple of years, price will come down, and there'll be better games out. There'll be, it's just like when the generation we just left today. That's weird to say. We just left the generation. What generation was this? What were we in?
Like 6.
6? No, I think it's more than that. What is the current generation? I think it's like, not generation of people, not baby boomers. Games.
8th generation.
Yeah, okay. So we're getting close. Yeah. Higher than that. So yeah. No. So we're going into the 9th generation.
Although, to be fair, looking at the Wikipedia list for generations, Generation 1 is 72 to 84. Generation 2 is 76 to 92. So it's a pretty big span for a generation, I reckon.
Yeah. But I'd say it's like basically when Generation 8 came out, right? Yeah, for the whole first year and a half, pretty much the PS4 and the Xbox One were just dead bricks. There was a joke back when the Machinima was a thing. They made a video where it's like, hey guys, like a new $500 brick, you build a house out of it.
Curious with the PS5, have you guys seen that teardown that came out a month ago?
Where it's just literally, hey guys, it's just heat sinks in here. Here's the board. Oh, yes, beautiful board. Lovely. Yeah, sorry, why?
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, it looks cool though. Like seeing all the stuff that was put into that console to make it that huge.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite thing about the PS5 is the fact that the faceplates are detachable, and that there's going to be some custom faceplates coming out. Like it's such a simple design to detach them, and so it's going to happen.
I heard they're not going to do that though.
What? Why?
I think it's something to do with copyright and stuff.
Huh?
Really? I thought that was something that they'd already planned out.
PS5 faceplate.
Wait, wasn't it the Xbox that was getting faceplates?
I mean, it doesn't.
I'm having a complete brain fart. I'm thinking of the 360.
I mean, there's already custom PS5 faceplates coming out by third parties already.
Yeah. Even if Sony doesn't do it, someone else will.
Yeah. They're cracking. Yeah, so it's happened a week ago. So Sony has cracked down on third-party customization brand as the hardware manufacturer explained that the creation of the PlayStation 5 faceplates are part of PS5's intellectual property.
Oh, you got to be. Well, I'm going to move to Xbox now. I'll be honest. I'm quite lately pretty over Sony's crap, to put it simply. Microsoft for them are being a lot nicer with apart from buying what Bethesda, which is good on them for that move. Honestly, they need to have something to combat.
And they're not pulling games from PlayStation. No. So all the games that were promised to come out on PlayStation are still going to come out on PlayStation.
Yeah. And they're
unlike when Epic bought games off Steam literally weeks before they came out.
But it's they're Microsoft's they're playing nice with Nintendo. Not really they've ever been much competitors, but they're playing nice. They're doing they're exchanging Smash Bros. Character stuff. They're Sony just no crossplay. No, we own PS5. We at best. It's guys, every other part of your business is a failure. Cameras, meh. People buy them, but not many anymore. Movies, you know, you could get game consoles. I think keeps you afloat now. And I'm like, he's such an asshole.
It's that in Spider-Man.
Oh yes. Get ready for the 6th Spider-Man reboot, guys.
Yeah, because they were smart enough not to sell Spider-Man back to Marvel. They just lease it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys ever buy the consoles and just for the aesthetics, or just and the performance, or would you just go like, nah?
I don't know, maybe not. I mean, honestly, probably what happened is I'm going to buy. I don't personally own a PS4 or an Xbox One or any version. My brother does, but I don't. I have a lot of older consoles like PS3s and stuff because they're really, really cheap. So probably now the new console's out, the PS4 and Xbox One, their price is just going to plummet. So most likely, I'm just going to buy one of the older consoles and just wait quite a few years until the price of these ones comes down. Because it's fun seeing new technology. And the best thing about a new console generation means that PC games are going to get better, because it's always developers have to limit the games to make sure they can run on the console. So they can't always push as far forward as they want. But now, because obviously as new generations out, they can once again up the quality of PC titles. The release PC titles, I should say, so because it'll be fine for all the consoles and the PC.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get either of them. I'm still a PC guy at heart. And any exclusive on the PlayStation that I might want to play is on PS Now. So I've been planning on one day actually getting a PS Now subscription and playing some of those exclusives.
Makes sense.
But then some of them are coming to PC anyway. Like Red Dead 2 came out a year later, I think. Death Stranding came out on PC.
Yeah, but here's the problem though: when games go to PC ports, though, it's hit and miss. Like I remember when Batman Arkham Asylum, was it Arkham Asylum? No, not Arkham Asylum.
Arkham City. I think.
Arkham City came out.
Or was it Arkham Knight?
Yeah, Arkham Knight, and man, that was terrible, to the point where they said like, nah, we're gonna discontinue it.
Yep.
So it's hit and miss though. So
yeah, I mean,
same for any game really.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing. Like, I think in the last 5 years, it's really flipped on its head. If you think about it, like, okay, the generation we just left, number 8, at the start of it, it was Microsoft's the bad guys, Sony was the good guys, right? Because Microsoft, Xbox One is going to be, who cares about video games? Sports, guys. You like sports? And then
you like DRM?
Would you like to have a connected to your screen the whole time? Oh, we won't spy on you, I promise. But it must be plugged in for a turn on.
Do you like our patent that says that we can charge you individually if you watch a movie, so that every person in your room has to pay to see the movie on your Xbox?
Oh, we can. And don't worry, you can't get around the system. We can see you.
Don't worry, we're not going to do it, but we've got the patents for it.
Ha 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 ha. And then Sony was like, hey guys, this is how you trade a game. Oh yeah, game trading, guys. You got to pay for every time you want to trade a game for someone. You got to pay for it.
I love that the E3 presentation for Sony was basically just taking a dig at Microsoft.
Yes. And then now it's flipped around, and Microsoft are now seen as the better guys, and Sony's been just going backwards in a lot of their policies and stuff. It's just like, what is going on?
Just curiously, have you guys read the specs for both of these consoles, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, they're both pretty much the same for the most part. Like, PS5 is slightly more powerful, but like when it comes down to it,
is it the Xbox? Both Xbox Series consoles have a higher base clock.
Yeah. Some nice soul gave us a good list of all the specs and whatnot, so you can have a good read. It's from Gaming Simplified. But yeah, some very interesting details have been written in this one. Although I will say this, I was tempted to buy the PS5, but because of the backwards compatibility. But that thanks to PlayStation going, no, we're not going to do backwards compatibility to all the old games. We're going to just do it to PS4. And I was like, nah, that's it. I'm not buying it.
Well, how many generations back did the PS4 go?
It didn't go any, did it? Didn't it? I don't think PS4 had any backwards compatibility.
No, it was only to a select few games, if I recall.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing, having the backwards compatibility. Like, the thing is, like, for me, it doesn't work because I already own the consoles that those games are from. So it's like,
I I've still got a PlayStation 1 under my bed that going to get hooked up.
Nice.
I've been looking into preservation recently because I've got an original Xbox and a PlayStation 1, and the original Xbox has a capacitor that likes to spew acid all over everything.
Removed it?
Yeah, so I've removed it, cleaned up the little bit of leakage, luckily nothing significant, and basically rebuilt the system with a bunch of stuff done to preserve it. And then I went and cracked it because with the original Xbox, if the CD drive fails, you can't replace it.
Ooh.
So you want to have a crack on it before it fails. Otherwise, even if you own the game, there's no way for you to play the game.
Haha, what a nice brick.
Yeah. So I've made sure I've done that, and it'll be ready for if I ever, and installed a new hard drive as well. So it's ready for if I ever, if it ever dies on me, I can get it going again. So I'm looking for preservation tips for the PlayStation 1. Doesn't seem to be anything significant except maybe a mod chip in case the CD drive fails. Yeah,
I recommend just a mod chip, and that's about it. I think of all these old consoles, eventually be so broken you can't really get it working. So it's like the whole thing where it's problem with games. I like movies where you have film, and film basically keeps forever as long as it's in the correct environment.
Yeah,
consoles.
Except the really old stuff that likes to catch fire randomly.
Well, I mean, that's a different story. It's kind of a safety hazard thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you say the same with these old consoles as well. Oops, the transformer just exploded.
Yeah, the other thing is, though, I think it's going to be easier to preserve games from 9th gen consoles because they are just x86 computers.
True.
They're running, it's a custom AMD chip in both of them, but it's not that different from an actual PC.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think it'll be easier to preserve games on these consoles.
Actually, no, I'm going to say the opposite. I think, you can preserve it, but at the same time, with everything basically moving more and more to be 100% online, 100% always connected to servers.
Yeah.
Once the servers are gone, like most games now have to connect some server and stuff. Once the server's gone, sorry, lovely little executable you got there. Would you like to go to the loading screen?
Yeah.
Oh, what a fun game this is.
Even then, a lot of single-player games have online features. Like Shadow of Mordor has a feature where enemies that you fight can appear in other players' games.
No.
So Shadow of Mordor has, we talked about it last week, it's shutting down soon, but it has the Nemesis system, which basically enemy characters form a proper hierarchy, and you need to fight weaker enemies to get information on on that boss and work your way up. I'd actually really like to see a gang-themed game where you're maybe a cop trying to take down a gang, and it works through the Nemesis system. But characters that you fight learn from you, and you can run into them later on. And that stuff can transfer across to your friends' games. They might fight the same boss that you did. Death Stranding is built entirely around that. It's a single-player game. I'm pretty sure you could complete the whole game without taking advantage of another player's constructions, but it would make it a hell of a lot harder.
That's true.
Can you imagine the Yakuza series with that system?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So, a lot of single-player games have online features, even if they don't directly affect the gameplay. Luckily, with Shadow of Mordor, they're going to patch it out. So, hopefully there's... Yeah.
Really? Well, that's a first. Isn't it made by... Isn't it, who's the person?
Warner Brothers, but I don't remember which dev.
What? Yeah, that's surprising. I really think... knowing Warner Brothers, I wouldn't know they would do that, but fair enough, considering how greedy they were when it first came out. So
it was by Monolithic Productions. That's Monolith Productions. Just curiously, with the back to the topic on the with the PS5 and the Xbox Series One, what do you guys think of the controllers? They look really cool, don't they?
Okay, so my opinion is the Xbox controllers, meh. It's literally just an Xbox One controller. It's no different. The new Sony controller looks like it's out of Cyberpunk 2077. I honestly like it. I like that Sony finally is actually making new controllers for each generation. Unlike from the original PS1 to PS3. So I think I'm kind of disappointed they got rid of the like always on like light. I know it drained batteries, but I mean I kind of liked the fact that the PS4 had that light that always changed, like especially in GTA where it like flashed red, it flashed blue and red when you had cops in you and stuff. It was sort of charming.
I think you're the only one who's ever said that they like it. I've seen people do that with there's software that can do that for keyboards and stuff on PC.
I had a feeling like who doesn't want RGB in their like game consoles and computers?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a neat feature. My big concern with changing the controller every generation is backwards compatibility helps reduce e-waste.
Yeah.
If you can carry your controller forward, then you don't need to buy new ones, which obviously is bad for the company because they're not selling you another free controllers on top of your one that comes with the console.
But they said, didn't they say the PS5 can use the old PS4 controller or something?
I think they might have. And
Let me check.
there's also something I'm disappointed that it didn't make it into the PS5.
You can use your PS4 controller on the PS5.
Okay.
But you can only use PS4 pad to play PS4 games on your PS5, obviously.
So you can't use it to play the PS5 games, which makes it kind of...
No. You usually play PS5 games.
Oh, but you can't use the 5 controller to play.
The touchpad thing only works for PS4 games, of course.
Oh, right. Yeah. Actually, that was another neat feature of the PS4. In Death Stranding, apparently the PS4 controller has a speaker in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And because you're holding it up against your chest or in your lap, it cries when the baby in the game cries. So that it sounds like it's coming from your chest area where you're carrying the baby.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like little interactive features like that. So I'm pretty excited about the haptics in the PS5.
Yeah, now that you mentioned with the word haptics, there was a big selling point with the PS5 controller is the haptic sense and how it's much more fluid.
Yeah, and you have a little feedback when you pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But one thing, it doesn't have paddles, as far as I know.
Yeah. Well, which one?
The PS5.
Controller doesn't have paddles.
Yeah, as far as I've found out so far.
I believe it does, but also that's a weird one.
Yeah, it doesn't have any paddles at all, which is kind of standard these days. And it's weird because the DualShock 4 for the PS4 has a paddle attachment that you can buy from this year.
So what's a paddle? Sorry.
So on the back of the controller when you're holding the controller, you actuate the buttons on the face of your thumbs, the triggers with your pointer fingers, and the rest of your fingers are doing bugger all, except holding it in place. Paddles put triggers under those fingers.
Oh, yeah. No, so I think Xbox
Yeah, the Steam controller was the first to do it. Then there was the Xbox Pro. Then I think the Series X has it on every model.
I think. I'm looking at the PS5. You mean the triggers? There are triggers there.
No, paddles. Where your 3 fingers go. When you've got your pointers on the triggers, your thumbs on the face, then your other fingers grip the back.
Yeah.
Some controllers have paddles there where you can trigger stuff with your other fingers, and it usually gets put on like grenades.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The back. Yeah. I remember that.
I found a good image. This is what they should do for what they need to fix the controller on. This is what they've done wrong. Yeah, I posted it in general. This is what they need to do to fix that up.
Oh no, that is way too many buttons.
Problem solved.
Oh, so I'm a bit disturbed here. Like each thumbstick has a number on it, except the numbers repeat. I love the Comic Sans big text saying "funny PS4 controller." Yeah, mate, I know. I'm looking at it.
Honestly, I want to see a console that looks like that.
Ooh, it looks a bit like the monitors from Halo. I like it.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, we're currently looking at there's that 4 million view YouTube video with all the future gen console, Wii 2, PS4, Xbox 720. I love how even in 2008 people knew the next generation console would be called PS4. They knew the naming scheme.
So the paddles on the back usually just, at least on the older consoles, because you can't remap. They just trigger a face button, but it means you don't have to take your fingers off the sticks to do certain actions. And it's standard for the Steam controller did it first, I think, then the Xbox did it. PS4 still hasn't got on the bandwagon. So, what are they doing? It's pretty standard. People love it.
But Sony says no.
What about the storage space? Have you guys heard the issues there?
What issues?
Well, there's the bit where the Xbox Series S has basically no space on it.
Really?
Yeah, it comes with I think 500 gigabyte drive in it. You can only use like 360 of that.
Well, that's not very helpful then, hey.
Wait, 500 gigs?
Yeah.
What the heck? Wait, what? What are they gonna add in? Like new guns or something? Or
no, this is the drive that comes in the console. But there are tons of games that are so big you'd only be able to fit 1 or 2 games on there.
Hello, we've returned recording.
Thank you, recording software. So yes, the drive that we're back. The drive that comes with the Xbox Series S is only 500 gig. The drive that comes with the Series X is 1 terabyte. But Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, aka COD Blops Plot, is 130 gigs on its own.
oh,
Yeah. And the thing is, though, games are smaller on the Xbox Series than they are on the Xbox One. They can theoretically be better optimized because of the SSD. So what they would do with the hard drive-based consoles is bundle the same asset multiple times. So if you're loading a level set in the desert, it will load in all of the assets for that level and bundle it all together on the disk. Then if there's another level set in the desert, instead of going back and getting it from the first place, it loads it from... It includes a second copy.
But why? Well, obviously money. That's the main thing.
Making the game load faster. Because you're reducing your seek time.
Yeah, true. No, sorry, I completely accidentally zoned out then. I was like, what? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I see. No. The whole reason why they're giving you less space on your low-end Xbox because got to get the Xbox Game Pass. But no, hang on, yeah.
Well, you still got to install it.
I was always under the impression it was like their live service thing where it's like the stream it.
I don't think they've got that yet.
Oh, damn. Okay, so you actually download it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, and the games are also smaller on the Series S because they don't include the 4K assets.
True.
So the S, looking at some examples here that I've included, they're ranging from 23% smaller for Dirt 5 to 64% for Sea of Thieves.
wow.
Yeah, that is some great compression that they've managed to pull off there.
Say goodbye to WinRAR.
Yeah, even looking at those 3 games, we're looking at 112 gigabytes for those 3 games. Then you have room for maybe one massive game like COD, and yeah, basically out of space. You can fit maybe another game on there. And this is unacceptable to me. It might be acceptable to other people, but it's not to me, because I'm a hardcore gamer, and I special imported a hard drive from America so I could install all of my games at once. No, at one point the price of hard drives was so much cheaper in America that I could pay for an American hard drive to be shipped here and have it come out cheaper than buying it here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're not doing themselves any favors, are they?
No, and then the expansion cards cost a boatload.
How much of a boatload are we saying?
I'm not sure, but it is also the Xbox S has no disk drive, so you install the entire game, which
it's digital.
brings the issue in even more.
Oh, it's digital. Oh, man.
Yeah. So the 1 terabyte expansion card, $360 from EB Games.
Oh. That's one kick in the teeth.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive for 1 terabyte. It is SSD, but you can get a much cheaper SSD just bare. So they've put in this proprietary system to make sure that you can't just buy one off the shelf.
That's going to be interesting. I wonder if I wonder what's going to happen when the third-party cards finally come out. If there is going to be. Wow, my words. Holy crap.
Yeah. I wonder, because they're bragging about their hard drive, SSD boost tech for the Series X.
Mm-hmm.
They reckon they have some trick that's going to make loading data from the SSD incredibly fast using, I don't remember if it was like GPU acceleration or something.
What really scares me is the fact that with these disk sizes, it might entice the budget gamer to go, all right, I might try the S model since I can save all this.
And then be disappointed in a year when, like, game sizes keep growing. So in a couple of years, the games are going to be even bigger, and then you're going to have even more funds fitting it on.
Yeah.
Actually, the Xbox uses Velocity architecture, using a custom NVMe SSD, hardware-accelerated decompression, the direct storage API, and something called sampler feedback streaming. And they are promising to possibly bring it, they're planning on bringing it to PC. But the raw specs, we'll have to wait for some benchmarks. But the raw specs say that the SSD can read at 50% of the rate of the PS5's SSD. So we'll see what the benchmarks are. Does direct storage really pull it out? Whereas the PS5 uses a 1 terabyte drive with 800 gigs available.
Okay, that makes sense then, hey.
But the PS5, they're compensating all that because of the look at you look at the size of that thing. They're putting like a lot of fans and stuff. So 1 terabyte would be like the only thing they could fit in.
No, 1 terabyte NVMe is tiny. Like, I'm talking a thing about the width of a ruler. And maybe about a bit longer than your middle finger.
Ooh.
Okay, so I've got one last final thing to do with this whole topic.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look on eBay and Facebook Marketplace for what the scalpers are doing. All right, guys. So let's start with eBay. Let's see. Our top best match product right now. 13 minutes left. Buy a brand new Sony PS5 for $1,400. $1,000, $100, $3,900, $1,200.
What's the market, the store price?
There is I'm scrolling. I've gone to 50 products. They're all still 1,000. There's 100. It doesn't stop. Okay, let's try EV Games. Let's see what they're selling at. That'll probably be the average.
Yeah. So
all right, EV Games is selling a PS5. I'll load it. Where is it? Hello. Okay, PS5. You made a terrible fate, haven't you? What? Oh, okay. So apparently the page is down for the PS5.
Okay. What's the base price? It's like $500 US.
I think that's roughly right. It is. I just want to see what Australia is at.
Yeah.
Maybe JB Hi-Fi will have it up.
So the other thing, though, the PS5 doesn't have expandable storage.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Really?
So the Xbox has the expensive proprietary bullshit. PS5 doesn't have anything.
Oh, that's how it is currently with those consoles anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the reason is it's all sold out.
Okay.
It was sold out. You can buy a controller for $109. Holy crap.
You can buy a new iToy camera. They're calling it the PlayStation 5 HD camera.
Oh my god. No, if you want to get a second controller for the PS5, it's $109.
Yeah. What about the Xbox?
That's a look at Xbox, yeah. So basically, tough out luck you want to get a PS5 now. They've scalped away. Let's try Xbox. Oh, some dude selling original Xbox saying Xbox new 740 for $2,000.
Here we go. You can get the Series S for 500 Australian on EB Games.
Okay, not bad. Xbox, yes, scalpers as well. Once again, they hasn't sold out. There's still quite a few around. Based on what I can see, at least as our current recording. but eBay's just full of scalpers once more. $700, $900, $1,000. Give us your money.
The Xbox Wireless controller.
Yeah. Whoa, hang on.
$90.
What? Xbox Custom Xbox One S, Series S, LED controller RGB remap Xbox Series X compatible?
What are you even saying?
Dude, that looks so cool. Oh my god. Put it in the show notes. There. Oh, holy crap, that has a URL.
That is a hell of a URL.
It makes your faceplates light up and stuff.
That's actually pretty cool.
How does it work though? I'm kind of curious. It's $150. What?
Yeah, it looks like they have a replacement for the collar that goes around the thumbstick.
Yeah.
But look at the images. They've got like LEDs and stuff. So maybe it's a whole new faceplate, a whole new circuit board or something. Regardless, that's pretty nice.
I doubt it would be it's expensive, but I doubt it would be a circuit board.
Okay.
What I think is it's probably that would be interesting. If I had enough money, it's something I would consider.
Yeah.
I like also there's a link in the other items for one that's got like underglow.
Yeah, I saw that.
No faceplate lights, but underglow.
Let's get the RGB going, boys. That's like I was wishing the consoles had was that. Like, why don't you make the faceplates light up? That could be really cool, like the buttons and stuff. Yeah,
why are PCs all RGB and then the Series X looks like a Mac?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like, wouldn't it be cool if you could customize the LEDs on your controller? Wouldn't it be cool if you can make it so your controller, you could customize it so you know who's player 1 or 2 based off your color sets? Like, just like on a PC. Like, you can't, it's not like I can't do it. But yeah, but no, Xbox seems like the better choice right now if you want to get it today.
Yes, because it is actually in stock. It reminds me of the AMD and NVIDIA cards. It doesn't matter how much better the NVIDIA card technically is, you can actually buy the AMD card. And because AMD has better yield and the performance is basically equal for lower price. So you'd still want to go for the AMD anyway, but
I think it comes down to name recognition. That's what that's what it comes down to. I mean, like everyone loves NVIDIA because NVIDIA powers everything.
Even though they conned people with the card that has 4 gig of RAM but only has 3.5 usable.
Yeah,
I'm just glad AMD's shaking up the silicon market. Apple's trying to, but they're not really doing anything in the sort of consumer space.
Apple will try, Apple will fail. I said it.
Apple Silicon isn't it's kind of all right for their first attempt at a laptop chip because they just launched the M1 yesterday. It's kind of all right, but it's not that fast. And you can't have it in a Windows PC. You have to use it with a MacBook. And then the MacBooks are seriously RAM limited. Like they top out at 16 gig. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But yeah, we've been ranting about
the
silicon for too long.
All right, guys.
DJ, why don't you tell us about something of a much smaller significance?
Yes, we're going where no man has gone before, into the world of microscopes.
Woo!
I mean, you're about 150 years too late there, but
So a team of physicists at the University of Netherlands have 3D printed a microscopic version of the USS Voyager, the Intrepid class from Star Trek. And this Voyager, which measures at 15 micrometers long, is a part of the project researchers at Leiden University conducted to understand how shape affects the motion and interaction of microswimmers.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just going to button here. I know we're trying to move on, but there's one last thing on that past topic. I know.
All right.
So I was just closed my tabs. I noticed that the news reporting on the selling out consoles. That's the most hilarious thing ever. So it's like Daily Mail. Gamers rush into JB Hi-Fi to buy latest PS5. News.com. It never worked. Gamers furious at PS5 at JB Hi-Fi. Just like, oh. Oh man,
that's the funny thing about news articles. They never learn.
Although I will be interested to see how this shakes out in a few weeks, like what the actual yield is, because there's already rumors of hardware failure.
Oh yeah, it's if you go on this subreddit currently for r/PS5, it's just constant posts like, oh, it bricked itself. Oops. Oh,
Yeah.
looks like a fan exploded. So, yeah. Anyways,
So,
I
if they can't-
apologize.
Yeah, we'll see how things work out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So this tiny Voyager, they want to learn about microswimmers, which are particles that move through liquid on their own via chemical reaction. And they want to then apply that to biological microswimmers and create drug delivery vehicles, which is wonderful sci-fi tech. So it's absolutely appropriate to have the Voyager here. But using a 3D printer, they're hard enough to calibrate at like micron size. No, sorry, micron size. No,
micrometers. Micrometers. Yeah.
Yeah, but the 3D printers that consumers have are much bigger.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, but this is an absolutely tiny 3D print.
Yeah. So they're saying by using a 3D printer, the scientists have discovered they can print any shape or any shape of micro swimmers, including boats and starships. That help them.
Is there a 3D printed micron-sized boatie? Where's the boatie?
Where's the boatie? Can you imagine? Okay. If any of the scientists that were working in this project are listening to us right now, I want to see them 3D print a TARDIS. It'd be a great Doctor Who episode if the BBC was to get this idea.
Well, there's already been multiple Doctor Who episodes about the TARDIS shrinking.
Yeah, but going into the human body, though. I mean, Magic School Buses have done it. Why not Doctor Who?
I'm pretty sure they have.
So yeah, they so one of the reports was saying that one of the authors was saying that by studying synthetic microswimmers, we will understand biological microswimmers, and this understanding could aid in developing new drug delivery vehicles. For example, microbots that swim autonomously and deliver drugs at the desired location in the human body.
Cool, you read the bit I already read.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, this is the next step up to inner space. Now we just need to work out how to make the people tiny.
Oh, that was a good movie. Oh, but you know what's going to be interesting with this, though? Can you imagine pharmaceuticals coming into this and going, okay, we're going to make nanotechnology possible by using 3D printers. This will blow nanotechnology field out of the water.
It absolutely could.
Depends if it's going to work, though. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So it determines all. That's what's going to be tested before anything else happens.
I want to know more about this printer as well.
Although with this in mind, though, can you imagine the military implications on this? On this?
I think they're a long way off.
Come on, think about it. Like you can assassinate politicians with a micro weapon.
You
like,
already can.
Yeah, I know.
What's his name? Murkov, something like that. The Russian defector was murdered with an umbrella and a poison dose inside a tiny ball the size of a pinhead.
Yeah, that's right. The Ryson assassin. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that was interesting.
You can already kill people with tiny things. So, what have you played this week, DJ?
Oh, I haven't got to my topic yet.
Wait, where is your topic? You don't get to. What did you play?
Okay, guys, come on, moving on. Oh, yes, the games. Yeah, well, we haven't got that yet.
All right. What's this about, anime? You weeb.
So Crunchyroll has been... Hey.
It's the real weeb here.
This guy's got the waifu pillow.
Debbie Boy's the real weeb. He would have the waifu pillow.
I don't. I promise you I don't. I do not have the figures, yes, but not the pillow.
It's only a matter of time.
So Crunchyroll has been trying to defend themselves by showing that they're worthy to stay with Warner Media and AT&T, so they won't sell them off. And they also state that the West should control anime. So recently, Joanne Wade was doing this whole speech at TIFFCon saying that anime is becoming a global phenomenon and it's built around an essentially Japanese product. And she continues by saying that that anime has been focused on expanding beyond core fans to viewers not familiar with the anime medium. And one example is celebrities, including rapper Megan Thee Stallion, who partnered with Crunchyroll to release an anime-inspired streetwear collection.
And I'm done.
What? I mean, what? Really? Anime-inspired streetwear collection? I mean, have you heard of Crunchyroll streetwear?
I'm honestly, okay, I'm gonna say that might be cool. So, like, what are they partnering up with? Who?
They're partnered up with a rapper named Megan Thee Stallion.
I mean, what's it? Okay, so where's the streetwear coming to this?
Yeah, she's like I said, they're bringing in celebrities to promote Crunchyroll into territories like that viewers are not familiar with anime, basically.
Oh, I thought they meant by streetwear is going to be like shirts and stuff.
Oh yeah, they're going to introduce that too. But yeah, she also continues on saying that the company Crunchyroll has more than 3 million subscribers and 70 million registered users. I mean,
okay. In some ways, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's always anime's getting to that level now where it's getting that big, but at the same time, also, that's slightly cringe.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you think about it, they'll just look at the 70 million users and think again. Because what's more important to AT&T and Warner, who are the bosses of Warner, who are bosses of Crunchyroll, is basically the people who pay for them and not the ones that are paying for it. So it doesn't matter to AT&T that they have 70 million users. What matters is where they got the money from.
I mean, true, yeah. But you also get ads from watching it for free as well.
Yeah. And so, for AT&T and Warner, this is like cutthroat. They'll chop anybody off. Like the 70 million registered users doesn't matter unless they're paid users, which is a different story. But not everyone's a paid user. And for Crunchyroll, as long as they have been around, which is 15 years, 16 years. They've gained 3 million subscribers. That's low, man.
Indeed.
I mean, PewDiePie has more subscribers than Crunchyroll has. But so moving along. So Crunchyroll has been fortunate. She observed that in belonging to the Warner Media Group, that there have been signs that Sony is trying to buy the company. Oh, Lord help us if that happens. They're saying that Warner has a great relationship with the animation going back. That there are many great characters understand where anime is coming from through the Warner connection, and Crunchyroll has become corporate allies with Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, Programming Block, and HBO Max, which is offering a curated collection of Crunchyroll content. Having anime together with HBO's big titles, this has been huge. Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay, so the Cartoon Network one makes sense because they do the Tsunami, which is a big thing. They've been doing that for decades. But then I guess the other ones are kind of cool, but sort of
Yeah, but here's the thing though, when HBO Max came out, they gained more subs than Crunchyroll has, and it's become its main streaming service that put everything on it. Then why the hell would you need extra streaming services like Crunchyroll and Rooster Teeth when you have one big one there?
I guess because I was trying to expand out, and maybe because it's it's a thing where the more platforms you're on, the more visibility you get, right? And it's all about visibility. But just on HBO, then only HBO subscribers are going to see you.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess, but as I said though, it comes down to the bottom dollar, and and we all know we've been seeing Crunchyroll and Rooster Teeth. They haven't been performing well business wise. I mean, it's only a matter of time before Crunchyroll gets absorbed by Sony, and we might see layoffs. And Rooster Teeth have been bleeding up people for a while. So what's one of the interesting things that she's been saying that for Crunchyroll's partnerships with Japanese anime companies to succeed, Wage has observed both sides have to think globally from an early stage with the aim of building lasting worldwide franchises and not just one-off hits. She goes to say the co-production partners have to be receptive to input, and there are simple things that are added or removed that can maximize the audience in a given territory. So I'm okay. So when I read that, I'm just going, okay. So you're basically saying you just want to control everything.
Yeah, it's a little. Ooh. Let's say that is the goal of any business, is to control everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but that's but us the fans, we don't want to see things change. I mean, Crunchyroll, what just wants to do is we just want to come in there, we want to censor it, alter to fit their standards, and they just want to control anime. Hence, why they state that co-production partners have to be receptive to their input, meaning that their input is what matters, and Japan has to listen to it.
Hold the conspiracy theories, my friend. I think in some ways, yes. But other ways, obviously they're going to censor it. They will have to censor stuff. That's just how it's going to be. Because, I don't personally enjoy it. But at the same time, of course, to make it more family-friendly, in air quotes, it's just something that's going to happen. That happens to everything, like movies and stuff. But then for those dedicated fans that still want to find it, like they'll always be able to find, the internet's here, illegal streaming sites and stuff. A lot that advocate for it, but it'll always still be around. So it's that whole balancing act, because they can't go too forceful, otherwise everyone just jumping back to illegal streaming.
Yeah, but the problem is though, like Japanese studios are kind of afraid of this. Like they're seeing like Japan's fighting back by asking their government to protect their freedom of expression from things being altered.
Are they?
Yeah, and not to mention like with Crunchyroll, like they don't really pay the Japanese animators. They just pay it to like other studios, just other American studios. Like, you don't get that money. We'll pay it to.
They do pay the animation studios. They just don't pay the individual animators because it all trickles down, right?
Yeah.
So this has been a whole contentious thing in the community for years and years. Like, does Crunchyroll let you pay? So they do. It's just so when you have a subscription, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your subscription is divided between all the shows you watch. So that subscription money is divided between Crunchyroll and then the other. So like I think it's split in half or something around like that, or quarter or something. And then that is then divided by all the shows you watch. So if you watch like 10 different shows a season, right? Then your money from that month will be divided amongst all those studios. So it trickles down to quite a little amount. It does go to them eventually, but it's just that whole like feedback loop.
Yeah. Yeah. But so Wager goes on to say we have 150 marketing people across the globe, which with an intimate knowledge of the local markets. Hollywood studios can't do what we could do. And she concludes by saying, "This is not a fad. Anime is going to keep on growing, and Japan will continue to be the center of it. It was already the center of it. It's just without the American anime companies tinkering in it."
Yeah, I do know where they're coming from though. It is growing and it will be growing regardless. And I don't think. I mean, here's the thing though. Like when you look at Crunchyroll originals, they were so bad. Like remember the X-Arm trailer and how bad that was. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. It's not very good, I'll admit. But at the same time, I mean, that's the same for any studio. I mean, every streaming service is having its hand in doing these terrible originals. I mean, Netflix did some great ones originally, but then, they've had some absolute shockers when it comes to anime adaptations, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And, I think anime itself, as much as people would love it to be still the early 2000s where basically, huge... Here you go, guys. Anime is on YouTube. It's broken to like 11 parts. Have fun. It was always going to be industrialized somehow, I think. And Crunchyroll Funimation and all those going the route they are, it's pretty obvious why. And I don't think it's going to change, at least for now, as the world moves to streaming. And anime is going to continue growing, of course. And it's just one of those things where it's like, once there's money in a business, people are always going to scream towards it.
But there is word going around that Japan might release its own anime streaming service, and that its own streaming platform. And if this happens, it'll be good because Japanese people could jump on there, and the fans will jump on there, and they could dub things that the way they want, because there are Japanese people who can speak English and not worry about the whole the big bosses that have creative control and you must fit within our standards kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, if I also recall, there was also there's a YouTube channel which does all the Japanese anime as well.
But also at the same time, while there's being downsized to anime and we would be becoming more, more what do you call it? The word? More mainstream. I guess put in air quotes. There is some benefits. One is obviously recognition for the good quality of products that are out there, but also I'll say having full episodes of anime just for free put up on YouTube of older series, like just there, whole thing. Because I know Funimation's put the whole series Initial D basically is up on YouTube for free, as well as Spice and Wolf and a few others. So it's like, there's always benefits and downsides. It's such a messy thing.
I do recall there was a YouTube channel. I need to find that YouTube channel because it was, I think, like 15 or 16 anime companies have done it. I've said like they're going to band together and put all of the episodes like full on.
That sounds very interesting. So you'd better put that in the show notes. But we should move along now.
Father's here to push us along. Run.
Yep. Come along, children. So we'll just stop for a short ad break and then we'll be back with the games we played this week. So what did you play this week, DJ?
I have been playing Valorant. Back to the good old shooters.
And what are you thinking of it?
So far it's been it did some upgrades and the weapons are still broken as heck, but I'm having fun. The biggest problem I'm still encountering is that I can't really jump up to higher ground.
So what's been added since you last played?
They just added more cosmetic stuff. They've added more. You can now spray paint on walls.
And how long until people start spray painting pictures of characters? Like they do in a Counter-Strike and Team Fortress.
Oh, I think it'll be eventual. There hasn't been much changes on the weapons per se. Characters-wise, not much. I think they added a new character, but it's been a while since I last played Valorant, so I have to get back into it. But yeah, it's fun. It's a fun game for a filthy casual like myself.
That's funny because I was trying to make it a hardcore esports game.
There are a lot of pros that play that game, but for filthy casuals like myself, we just like to play underrated and enjoy ourselves.
What about you, Devi?
All right, so for once I've played a lot of games. So we might go through a list. I haven't played this week, but we'll say the last months while I've been missing. Okay, that works. So, all right, so I've got a whole list ready. So I've played Genshin Impact, the Blair Witch 2019 horror game, Call of Duty 4, what was it finished? Like 3 other games I've finished, like just too many, man. Minecraft. So yeah, I don't know.
Nothing wrong with Minecraft.
Pardon?
Nothing wrong with a bit of Minecraft.
No, nothing wrong with Minecraft, man. You got to dig those holes. Which one do you want me to talk more about? I don't know. I can't choose.
Oh, Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact.
Okay. Genshin
that's
Impact.
The popular one at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a gacha game, so prepare to lose your money if you are bad at that. But it's basically Legend of Zelda, but obviously gacha. Overall, I'll say it's really good. I mean, it's free, and the climbing has been improved from Zelda slightly. It's a little less buggy. So you still have the issue where you like jump onto trees and stuff and climb walls you don't want to climb, but it's not too much you really can do about it apart from taking mechanic entirely. But I mean, it's a Chinese Zelda game, and it obviously has had some inspiration from Zelda Breath of the Wild, very closely. Like animation and stuff look very similar. But the actual gameplay and it's open world. The gameplay is really fun, and I highly recommend just giving it a try, see what you think and feel of it. But you gotta be careful and get sucked in too much because it is a gacha game, and your money will suddenly just start disappearing from your bank account if you're too, like some of my friends, if you're not being too careful.
What's the biggest flaw you've encountered in that game in terms of like aesthetics and controls or?
The flaw is like there's 3 different. It's confusing because there's like 4 different currencies. That's probably the biggest flaw. I mean, obviously, there's a reason why. It's not exactly a flaw. It's done on purpose. But I can't really say. Okay, so the gameplay, I think the combat can get stale after a bit. There's only a certain amount of attacks you can do, and it does start to feel the same after a bit. There's only a few different types of enemies. Thought that's in the overworld at least. The overworld needs a few more types of enemies. There's only so many. There's only I think 10. It just needs a bit more variety, I feel. Like there is bosses and there's more one-off enemies, but in just your general low level. Dungeons suck. They're terrible. They're so bad. Like they're not even really dungeons. They're just rooms, different room with different paint with some like puzzles and air quotes. And the story is just it's not exactly fun. It's kind of meh. Apart from that, like it's a sort of thing that's free and it's fun to mess around in, but the other elements you usually think it makes a good video game isn't really the best. That makes sense. But the music and like the gameplay and stuff is pretty good.
And I've been playing Fall Guys. I'm still hooked.
Do we need to send help?
No, I did take a break.
Oh! You took a break. Well, that's good news.
I played Metro Exodus for a few weeks.
Oh, god damn it!
And I just haven't had time to get into it. What? You got something about Metro?
No. I love Metro, but it's like I thought by break you were going to be like, I've stopped playing video games, taking a break from Fall Guys for a little bit. You're like, no, I'm playing different something else. No, how is Metro Exodus? Because I love Metro, but I've never got around to playing it because price tag.
Yeah, it was on a pretty good sale recently, actually. But yeah, it's I enjoy it. I really like it. It feels like it's reaching back to its roots in Stalker, because instead of having the fairly linear train tunnels, each level is a fairly open world affair. The maps aren't like huge, but you go to each area, explore, do a few side quests if you want to, or you can just rush through and do the main quest.
That's kind of nice. So you can it's not just constant tunnels anymore.
Yeah. So plot-wise, you're on a train leaving Moscow, and each stop you stop to pick up supplies or to negotiate with someone who controls a bridge.
I see. So that's definitely expanded from the original games. I mean, I played through 2033 and I absolutely loved it. I want to get into Last Light because I played it before, but I haven't gotten around to it. But then, how graphically, how's the game?
It's very pretty.
It's pretty.
Yes, it's the characters are the big improvement, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So did you play the original 2033 or the Redux?
I did a Redux, but I have played the original a little bit, and I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, so the characters in the original aren't great, and they reuse a couple of models for main characters.
Oof.
So in the original 2033, Khan and Miller are the same person.
I mean, understandable because the rushed development, but also, yeah.
Yeah, and that was obviously greatly improved in Last Light, but it's been improved even more in Exodus, I think.
Mm-hmm. So have you completed the game? Have you managed to finish it all?
No, not yet.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to ask you, is the ending all right? But yes, you'll have to find out on that one.
Yeah, I think a good comparison, if you go to the page for Miller on the Metro Wiki, and over his profile picture, portrait, you can pick the different games. So I think a good comparison of how the characters look is there.
Okay, I can see it now. I'm looking at the wiki. Yeah, good on them. That's a high improvement.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'll admit, just right now I'm going to do a slight rant. Sound the alarm wing bells. I know, Brad's finger rant time. So in the 2033 Redux, right, there is this bug towards the end of the game, which I lost. I almost uninstalled the game and lost everything. So there's a bug where when you don't have to you played the original game?
I've only played the originals. I haven't played the Redux.
Okay, doesn't matter. It's still the same thing.
Yeah.
So in the final mission, you got to climb the tower.
Oh, yes.
You know that cage you got to go through on the way there? Probably a bit hazy because I played so long ago. But basically, the cage and the spawn, it's a checkpoint. When all the beasts are attacking. So you got to go through this cage. Oh. Now, there is a specific bug. If you die when inside a cage and you respawn, it will spawn one of the high-end grunts, like the big, rat mutants, right in front of you and kill you instantly.
Oh, no.
So you get stuck in a loop of instant death, non-stop. So I almost installed the game. I was like, well, I guess it's fucked. I can't get in and try it again. Turns out, as long as you close the game and then restart it from the chapter itself, you're fine. It's just that one-off area. It's like, oh, that's a slight bug. That's a bit of a bug, guys. Bit game breaking there.
Yeah. The Exodus is really good, but it is the buggier of the free games, I think. And that's saying something because the original's a bit buggy. But unfortunately, there's a bug that I've had where it crashes the game. I get screwed and have to go and hack the save files to fix the difficulty setting, because for some reason the way it's set up, the difficulty is in one file and your character status and like location in the map and items is in another file, and the difficulty file gets corrupted somehow. So I have to make a new save file and copy across my character data.
Yeah, ouch, that hurts.
Yeah.
Wait, so how would you rate the game overall? At least this Metro itself, before we go back to the Fall Guys.
Yeah, I think I was giving Metro a 4.3 out of 5 because it is absolutely incredible and worth. I think it's worth playing, but it is horribly buggy.
Oh no, how buggy? Like, what's gone wrong?
So a lot of them are fairly minor, apart from the crashes that wipe the save data and break it. I think the big issues that I've had, crashes. There aren't actually that many major bugs. They're just little minor niggly things. Like if you check your map while driving the car in one of the levels, and probably in the other levels that you have access to the car in, your viewpoint pops up and gets stuck in the roof of the car.
Yeah, that's just a bit. Yeah, that's not very nice.
Yeah. There's probably some that I've had that I've forgotten, but I don't think there's any game-breaking bugs. Unless you count the spiders.
Excuse me, sorry. Did you say spiders?
Yeah.
Spiders?
There's mutant spider
spiders?
scorpions in the games. Enjoy.
Oh, flip sake. Look, I was already scared enough from the giant Half-Life plant things inside the library. You did have to mention the spiders. Why?
Oh, man. Trust me, the spiders are horribly intense. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyways, yeah, so what do you rate Fall Guys?
Fall Guys, 4 out of 5. Most of the issues in it have been fixed. The new maps are pretty fun. I think I'll still be going to... I think I'll still get back into it a bit more this season.
Fair enough. Why don't you go on to a little game called Among Us? I believe it's better.
Oh yeah, I've tried that.
I've
it's
been
alright.
addicted to that game.
So it's alright. Meh. Back to Fall Guys. I mean, Among Us is not much fun unless you're with friends.
Yeah.
It's not something you can play. Like, you can't play it with just random people, but it never works out. It's just a mess.
Okay, this is gonna be a hot take with Among Us. Okay. Among Us is is this generation's Monopoly.
What?
Okay then.
Okay, sure.
Because man, I've been playing Among Us with a couple of people, and man, the fights they get into.
Okay. We're making connections now. We're working out where you're coming from, DJ. Thank you. I see. So you're saying Among Us is this generation Monopoly because it's going to destroy friendships.
Yep.
It has issues too, though. I've had times where I've been killed twice in a round.
That is true. It is also buggy at times. But
So I'm killed. I'm floating around as a ghost, going and doing stuff. And my friends are like, what's going on? What? Yeah. And then I get killed again and the game ends.
I got the fastest win, 15 seconds, as an imposter.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
We were like, holy, after 15 seconds, we won? Wow, okay, I did not see that coming.
Hell yeah. So, shall we move on to the birthdays and shout-outs?
We should.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we are way over time.
I was about to say, I think this is going quite long.
Hey, 25, come on, this is a bit of a momentous occasion.
All right, guys, we're going for the 6-hour podcast. Let's go.
That'll be on Twitch sometime.
One thing about Metro, though, what difficulty do you play on?
I usually do story because that's what I play those games for. I'm not really there for like the hardcore game and stuff. I just like enjoying the story.
Yeah, I'm completely the opposite.
You're hardcore.
Yeah, I play on the hardest difficulty setting. The most annoying part is that it disables all of the UI. So the thing is, if you haven't played the game before, sometimes the UI isn't exactly clear when you can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
But the most difficult part is changing your throwables. At least it has sound cues so you know which one you've changed to.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Well, that's helpful, but also, yeah, That's going to make things slightly difficult for you. Hey?
Yeah, I've sort of memorized most of it now, and not an issue I'm really having anymore.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so on to the shout-outs.
Oh,
On the
shout
7th, on the 7th of November, Midnight Oil's Bones Hillman, the bassist with the beautiful voice, passed away at 62. Bones played for Midnight Oil from 1987 right up until their reunion and tour in 2017. The band described him as the bassist with the beautiful voice, the band member with the wicked sense of humor, and our brilliant musical comrade. He was also known for the hit Counting the Beat. Hillman replaced Peter Gifford in Midnight Oil shortly before they released their 6th album, Diesel and Dust, featuring Beds of Burning and Dreamworld. He died from cancer in Milwaukee. And on the 8th of November 2020, the Jeopardy host Alex Trebek passed away at 80. Alex, who hosted the show since 1984, was a master of the format, engaging in friendly banter with contestants, appearing genuinely pleased when they answered correctly, and moving the game along in a brisk, no-nonsense fashion when people struggled for answers. He never pretended to know the answer if he didn't, deferring to the show's experts. He won 5 Emmys and got stars on the Hollywood and Canadian Walks of Fame for his work on Jeopardy! He said, "What's not to love? You have the security of a familiar environment, a familiar format, but you have the excitement of new clues and new contestants on every program. You can't beat that." He died from pancreatic cancer in California. And his, I was reading an excerpt from his memoir, which was quite touching, about how he liked to go and just sit on the porch and watch the animals.
Alex Trebek, another wholesome figure gone.
On the 9th of November 2020, a carrier pigeon message from 100 years ago was found. A couple on a walk in eastern France discovered a capsule carrying a message dispatched by a Prussian soldier over a century ago. The message was from a soldier based at Ingersheim, was written in German in a barely legible hand, and detailed military maneuvers during the First World War, and was addressed to a superior officer. The date is marked 16th of July, but the year appears to be the 1916 or 1910, which I'm going to imagine it's 1916 because World War I didn't start until 1914. The message is going on display at the Linge Museum at Orby in eastern France. On the 9th of November 2020, the 20th anniversary of Counter-Strike 1.0. All those years ago, the original version of Counter-Strike finally released, well, as a 1.0 after being developed in 1999. So, was Counter-Strike originally a mod, or was it made by Valve to begin with?
It was a mod. It was originally a Half-Life original mod, and then it was ported into its own. The mod was taken and made into its own Half-Life Gold Source game.
Yep.
And then Team Fortress, then Counter-Strike was then iterated on with its own source development builds aside
Source and Go.
itself.
Source and Go.
Oh, yes, yeah, exactly.
Which, yes, in typical Counter-Strike fashion, nothing but complaints. Also, a lot of horrible people who like to say horrible things about your parents.
Hey, it's the birthplace of trash talking in games.
On the 10th of November, it was the 5th anniversary of the Steam Machine. The Steam Machine was a pre-built gaming computer designed by Valve to operate their Steam OS based on Linux. They licensed the design out to several computer vendors who would produce their own additional options, including dual boot with Windows and upgradability. Steam paired it with the Steam controller. What do you guys think of that? Have you tried it, Devi?
Which one was it, sorry?
The Steam controller.
I've given it a shot a few times, but I kind of like it, but also hate it at the same time.
Okay.
It's okay. It does work, but the point being is that I just use the keyboard. Why would I want to use the controller? That's my point of view.
I mostly use a controller in driving games.
Understandable, yeah.
Mouse and keyboard. But like if I'm playing GTA or something, I'll mouse and keyboard on foot and then switch to controller for a car. Unfortunately, Steam Machines didn't take off and the project was cancelled. The Steam controller survived for a few years longer and was finally discontinued in late 2019. And then for remembrances, on the 9th of November 1950, Hans Freeman, a German-born Australian bioorganic chemist, protein crystallographer and professor of inorganic chemistry, who spent his academic career at the University of Sydney. His best-known work explains the unusual structure, electrochemical, and spectroscopic properties of blue copper proteins. particularly plastocyanin. He also introduced protein crystallography to Australia and was a strong advocate to ensure Australian scientists had access to big science facilities. Freeman was a fellow of the Australian Academy of Science and a member of the Order of Australia. Freeman also enjoyed teaching. He died at 79 in Sydney. On the 9th of November 1952, Chaim Weizmann, a Russian-born biochemist, Zionist leader, and an Israeli statesman who served as president of the Zionist organization and first president of Israel. He convinced the United States to recognize the newly formed state of Israel, but he is also known as a father of industrial fermentation. He developed the acetone-butanol-ethanol fermentation process, which produces acetone and butanol and ethanol through bacterial fermentation. This was of great importance in manufacturing cordite explosives during World War I. The process produced 30,000 tons of acetone during the war, but a national collection of horse chestnuts was required when supplies of maize were inadequate for the quantity of starch needed for fermentation. He died at 77 in Rehovot. On the 9th of November 2004, Stig Larsson. Carl Stig Erland Larsson was a Swedish journalist and writer. He's best known for the Millennium Trilogy of crime novels, which were published posthumously. The trilogy was adapted as 3 movies in Sweden and one covering the first book in the US. The publisher commissioned David Lagerkrantz to expand the trilogy into a longer series. Although his books were best-selling fiction, and he was the second best-selling fiction author in the world in 2008, behind Afghan-American Khaled Hosseini, he never knew of his success as he passed away before he had a chance to publish his work. His diet was reported as consisting largely of cigarettes, processed food, and copious amounts of coffee. He died at 50 of a heart attack after climbing the stairs to work in Stockholm. On to the famous birthdays. On the 9th of November 1880, we have Sir Giles Gilbert Scott, the English architect known for his work on the new Bodleian Library, Cambridge University Library, Lady Margaret Hall, Oxford, Battersea Power Station, Liverpool Cathedral, and designing the iconic red telephone box. He was one of 3 architects invited to submit designs for telephone kiosks. His design was chosen and put into production in cast iron as kiosk number 2 or K2. Later models added posting boxes and 2 stamp vending machines. They continue using the same general look for mass production, including the K6 model, which was a fixture in every town and village. On the 140th anniversary of his birth, he was honoured with a Google Doodle depicting his telephone boxes. He was born in Hampstead, Middlesex.
I was thinking about the red telephone boxes. Can you imagine they do a Doctor Who joke where the Doctor, instead of going to the blue box, he goes to the red box? You're like, oh crap, this isn't my TARDIS.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know. I feel like that's something that's happened in the show, but I don't remember exactly when. Although the TARDIS is a different model to the Scott model. Although it would be really awkward for the Doctor to walk in on Superman changing.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna go.
On the 9th of November 1873, Ottfried Foster, the German neurologist and neurosurgeon, was born. His dissertation described the connection with the systematic... his dissertation was used in connection with introduction of rehabilitation medicine into neurology, the involvement of spinal reflexes in the genesis of muscular spasticity, suggested its treatment by surgical interruption of the sensory branch of the nerves, and in 1908 he developed an operation to cut the nerve to alleviate spasticity. One of his methods was to use local anesthesia injections to keep the patients awake. While they worked, he would poke their brain with an electronic needle and record their movements. He was born in Wroclaw.
Scary, getting like an electronic needle inserted in you while you're awake.
Yeah, well, I've heard stories where they're working on a part of your brain and they tell you to keep talking, and they know if they cut too deep, you'll stop talking. So then they know they've screwed up. I think there was a musician who kept playing the violin while they worked.
See, that's scary.
Yeah. And for the last birthday, on the 9th of November 1934, we have Carl Sagan, an American astronomer, planetary scientist, cosmologist, astrophysicist, astrobiologist, author, poet, and science communicator. His best-known work is research on extraterrestrial life, including the demonstration of the production of amino acids by radiation. He assembled the Pioneer plaque and the Voyager Golden Record, the first 2 physical messages sent into space. He argued for the accepted hypothesis that the high surface temperature of Venus is attributed to a greenhouse effect, wrote the science fiction novel Contact, the basis for the 1997 film, and promoted the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. He received a number of awards for his work, including a Pulitzer Prize for non-fiction. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. And on to the events of interest. On the 9th of November, 11/9/67, DJ. Are you sure? On the 9th of November 1967, you're only off by like 10,000 years. NASA launched the unmanned Apollo 4 spaceship on the first Saturn V rocket. The sound pressure from the rocket was much stronger than expected and caused ceiling tiles to fall off the buildings surrounding the launch pad. Reporter Walter Cronkite admitted he was overwhelmed by the power of the rocket and the emotion of the moment. His description was delivered without his usual poise and reserve as he yelled above the noise into his microphone. This was the first Apollo flight after the stand down after the Apollo 1 fire, which killed the first crew. It was the first to use the official Apollo numbering scheme, designated Apollo 4 because there had been 3 previous uncrewed Apollo Saturn flights, using the Saturn 1B launch vehicle. The mission was a complete success, proving the Saturn V worked, an important step towards achieving the Apollo program's goal of landing astronauts on the moon and bringing them home before the end of the decade. On the 9th of November 1979, we have the accidental alarm at NORAD. The technician loaded a test tape, failed to switch the system to test, leading to a bunch of false warnings to go to the continuity of government bunkers and the command post worldwide. It's not the first or last time that a false alarm occurred. The other most famous is probably Petrov's alarm, where a Soviet operative working on the detection system detected a large number of American bombs, but decided it obviously wasn't a real attack because there wasn't that many bombs. There weren't enough bombs for it to actually be a full attack. And for the wacky movie this week, we have Pulse, starring Kirsten Bell and Christina Milian. The premise is that a computer hacker accidentally channels a mysterious wireless signal, allowing ghosts into the world. The ghosts suck your will to live, causing you to commit suicide. And at the ending of the movie, everyone flees to areas that don't have an internet connection.
Although, interestingly, this movie was based off a Japanese movie.
Yeah, I wonder... It says that Wes Craven disowned it because they changed it too much.
Yeah.
So I wonder what the original Japanese movie was like. It also had 2 sequels, both released direct-to-DVD in 2008, which kind of says something about the quality there.
So the Japanese movie title is called Cairo, and it's the plot is basically centered on ghosts invading the world, and it features 2 parallel storylines. So, yeah, that's the Japanese version. I bet you'll be more violent than the American one.
Probably. And the That's Not Canon podcast that we're going to recommend to you tonight is, this is, what's it called, DJ? This is How I Make Music?
How I Make Music.
How I Make Music.
It's basically, an audio drama. Musicians get to tell their stories. So every Wednesday, soundtrack music composers from the world of audio fiction take you on a fresh audio journey into their process. So you get to listen to a creatively edited audio collage of a selected original work as they explore the mind up and coming and established instrumental music composers.
So that's all we have for tonight. Where can they find us, DJ?
They can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that'snotcanon.com, where we have an archive of our old episodes. They can also find us on Pod Hero.
Here's on Pod Hero for $5 a month. You can support us and other That's Not Canon podcasts. Your subscription is split between us based on how much you listen to each podcast. So that's all we have for tonight. Look after yourselves, stay hydrated, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.